Yes, Didsy, for the ones who don't know him, David McGoldrick. He trained yesterday, trained very well, and then he left out the shooting because his calf was sore. He's trained really well today as well. He's missed a lot of practice though and a lot of sessions, so but he was good. And Basant is similar. He's trained Thursday and Friday, so both fit and available for the squad. Tom Adeyemi, Emma Hughes, and Luke Hyam, God love him, has been out today training with Leeds, so that's a good sign. But it has been a disjointed pre-season through illness and injury. Chamber having his tonsils out, Adam Webster coming back from injury. There's been a lot missing, but they're all coming back, thankfully. Hopefully, we'll get someone done, and as soon as we do, there'll be an announcement. Listen, we've been spinning plates all summer, and lots of them have fallen on my head. I'm hoping this one does. People know we're needing a striker, and I mean I've had hundreds put into me of every nationality, every creed, every colour, and I've pretty much watched them all as well on our systems. Dropped to sleep in an afternoon watching them. I've watched that many, and Harry Bunn was one of them. And I have to say, and he's available, and I like Harry Bunn, but it's not him. I can't see anybody who'll be playing tomorrow, Brenner. Flynn's had a great pre-season. I have to say, the emergence of Flynn and Tristan Nydam, Doz has come back in and he's stepped it up a notch. He's been pretty impressive in training this last week, just before him, and it was interesting watching them two go head to head. You know, so that's been good all round. There's competition for places, and when we get Tom back, and when we get Emir back, and we get Didsy back fully and Basant back fully, then there'll be good competition for. It's going to be a squad of about 24 players, and that's going to include, you know, Michael Crowe, the third goalkeeper, Tristan. That'll include Flynn Downs, Dozza, the younger ones. But I believe in playing the team, which is good.
Birmingham?
Well, they'd be extra driven far more than if we'd have won 6-1. We'd have probably come in thinking we've got a big cigar on and we're all good. Well, you know, and we'd had a pretty good pre-season. I think everybody's optimistic. Whatever went wrong. I mean, Flynn was on his knees. He'd had a tough pre-season. He was knackered. And he had a couple of days rest this week because of it. Scousy had been poorly. Hey, great excuses. But, you know, 2 centre midfield players playing against 3 in there does give you a problem. And they played round us. They were brilliant. They were excellent. But, you know, it gave me a real opportunity on Monday morning to come in and lay down a few ground rules, if anybody had forgotten, about how we do things. It's a start, again, for the club and for the season. And just come and support. And if we don't win and we play badly, then, you know, I'll take what comes. But under more pressure, not at all. The aftermath, the fallout from that, you know, me walking down the track if we've lost, I would imagine I'd be getting a fair bit of abuse and the boos, and the number 1 song had come out again, Mick McCarthy, football is shite. Number 2, you're running our club. And number 3, whatever else it is, I can't remember now. So that'll all come out, but listen, if you think I'm worried about that before I go out, then you've got me completely wrong. That top 6 is what we'll be aiming for. And we don't know until we start. You know, you go through all the teams, and you all do. You'll all be sat in here talking about who's spent money. Bristol City, £5 million striker. All the ones at Sheffield Wednesday have got, you know, Derby. I don't know if they spent that much money this year, but 25 million or something last year. So they've still got the squads. For all intents and purposes, it looks like we have had no chance to be in the top 6. But that was pretty much the thought when we finished in the top 6.
This is your 26th season in management. Do you still get that same new season buzz when it comes round again?
Yes, I do. This morning I was, really thrilled this morning that we got all the 2 D-days. D-Day 1, tell the players the team. So that's 1, and it's done that today. And D-Day 2 is you know, when we start. So it was great, the fact that everything's gone out of the way, tell them the team, we can prepare for the game. And also let them know that, because we've all been friends for the last 5 weeks. It's all been nicey, and of course, as soon as you tell them the team, you don't know how they're going to react. But I did stress to them that we've got 6/7 games this month, and I think, and I just said to Brenner there, that the 18/20 outfield players should all be able to play in their respective positions and should all compete, and that if I wanted to leave somebody out and put somebody else in, I'd be getting the equal to that. So that's got to be their target. So if it's a right back, they've got to be the same as the other right back. If it's a centre back, they've got to be the same. So I could leave somebody out, give them a rest. Chamberlain played 46 games last year. That is unusual. But what I would like is the same quality if somebody was injured or knackered and I had to leave them out.
How difficult has this transfer market been this summer in particular? We've seen the fees continue to rise in the Championship. You've mentioned a few plates that have fallen on your head. Yeah, well, I'm a bit disappointed I haven't been given an earpiece because I've just been watching Neymar. I'd like it to be in about 15 different languages, this, or even more. And not as many have turned up as well as Neymar's press conference. Yeah, it's been, you know, Stuart, it's not been any different than any other. It's just that, you know, some people seem to be spending exorbitant amounts of money. They are, you know, it's bonkers. I mean, there was a few last year, weren't there? It just seems to be more. You know, Wolves have spent, what was it, 15, 16 million on a holding midfield player. He's a very good player, apparently. But, you know, that's a hell of a lot of dash for one player in this league. Good luck to him, by the way. I'm not complaining about that. Good luck to him. Ashley Fletcher. Ashley Fletcher, 6.5 million. You mentioned that price is being quoted potentially.
I was trying to get him on loan. What a chump, eh? The Friday before he went, I was talking about having him on loan. What a big custard pie I got. After, the agent must have thought, do me a favour. But he patronised me and we spoke about it, or the person who was purporting to represent him at the time anyway. And then the following day, I get a message that he's going there for 7 million.
These are players.
God loves a trier, apparently.
Yeah, these are players that probably realistically you would have thought 12 months ago would have been in your reach as a football club. Is it sort of worrying that players of that ilk are now potentially being outpriced for someone like that?
No, Ashley Fletcher was never in our... No, not a chance. He was better than that from his time at Barnsley and leaving Manchester United. He was taking on compensation. He was never ever going to be in our price range. He's a very good player, and I think Middlesbrough got a bargain. I think he'll turn out to be a bargain.
We're fresh bite from Mick McCarthy's pre-Birmingham City press conference, which I don't know if you know, has been broadcast live on our Facebook page this morning, on the Ipswich Star Facebook page. We've had over 800 views already and it seemed to be quite popular while it was going on. Stu, what do you make of Mick's press conference? What was the vibe?
Yeah, I thought he was good. I thought, you know, we put a bit of groundwork into convincing the club to do that, didn't we, this summer? And I'm glad they have, because I think it allows Mick to come across as he is, and people can, as we know him, and I think it can only be a good thing that fans can sort of watch him in person and make up their own mind from there, because last season some of the things that Mick was saying perhaps looked a bit harsher in black and white in print, and everything was getting hyper-analysed. I think, you know, we know what Mick's like, and I think that can only be a good thing in terms of, you know, the accusation last year was perhaps that the club had lost a bit of connection with the fans, and something like that can only be a good thing, really.
Let's get down to it then, Stu. Team news for tomorrow, really. They're playing Harry Redknapp's Birmingham City, first game in the Championship over there at Portland Road, just over 24 hours away.
Yeah, and you know, sort of mixed bag in terms of injury news, wasn't it? Selina and Garner have both had a good couple of training sessions back after their problems. Garner had a little shoulder knock from last weekend. Selina has overcome that latest bout of illness, so they should both be fine. But not so good news on David McGoldrick. Mick seemed to suggest that he was a little bit behind. He missed out through illness last weekend at the Valley, but Mick suddenly threw in there today that he's got a bit of a sore calf and missed some shooting practice today. So reading between the lines, I think he might not be quite ready. Maybe a place on the bench at best, which would suggest, if it's going to be 4-4-2, Garner and Sears up front.
And we know about the problems that he's got in midfield at the moment in terms of a lack of numbers through injury and illness. He was asked about Flynn Downs. He's been asked a few times about him, to be fair, this pre-season, but also Andre Dizelle and Kevin Brew. So, I mean, on those three, what can you make of what Mick said?
Yeah, Hugh's still out and Adeyemi's still out, worth reiterating that.
Hyam and Bishop as well.
Yeah, I mean, Hyam, he said, is back in training, but still miles away from fitness. Bishop's still out. So what does that leave us with? Cole Scouse, we pretty much know with Mick that he's going to be a starter. So who plays alongside him in central midfield? He kind of stuck up for Downs' performance against Charlton last weekend. Downs has undoubtedly been the star of pre-season up until last weekend, where both him and Scouse had a difficult afternoon in that 6-1 defeat to Charlton. But he said that Flynn was just sort of knackered after his pre-season exploits. Cole Scouse was still feeling a bit of illness, and Charlton's 3 played around our 2. So he kind of glossed over last weekend's 6-1. He wanted to focus more on the positives of pre-season up to that point, and I have to agree, I thought it was a positive pre-season up until last Saturday. So will it be Downs alongside Scouse? Dizelle's I wouldn't rule that out, because he talked him up a lot, and obviously Andre's been away and won the Euros, the under-19 Euros with England. So he's kind of missed a lot of pre-season, but he really talked up Andre, didn't he, and sort of said he's come back in and he's doing the dirty stuff in training, put Cole Scouse on his backside, he said, and he'd like to see that. So will he trust Andre in a 2-man midfield? I don't know. He's told the players, the team today, obviously was giving little away in the press conference, but be interesting to see who he goes with in central midfield. And
it seems as though Kevin Brew's days are numbered, doesn't it? Ipswich not giving a squad number, and when he was asked about him, he basically said that the young players are ahead of him now, really.
Yeah, I think the writing's on the wall there, as you say. No squad number. Asked him if there's any chance of, given the unavailability of midfielders, whether he might get a bit of a reprieve, and he just said no. There's younger players ahead of him in the pecking order, so that seems to be that for Kevin Brew.
And we mentioned the lack of numbers up front just before, with obviously McGoldrick struggling a little bit. He was asked about this elusive striker that he is afterwards, and it's not Harry Bunn.
No, typically not giving much away, Mick McCarthy, but he's hopeful of getting someone in before tomorrow's game, and it's not Harry Bunn. There's been a lot of speculation that it might be Harry Bunn from Huddersfield, perhaps more of a winger than a striker anyway. He wasn't in the squad photo over in Austria. He's not featured in one of their pre-season games. A lot of speculation along those lines, but he said Harry's someone that he's watched, he likes, but that's not the player that they're hopeful of signing tomorrow. Who is that player? Genuinely, we don't know at the moment, do we? The club are very good at Mick's very good at keeping that sort of close circle of people that know what's going on. So we'll be trying to find out all we can this afternoon and watch this space.
I think a story elsewhere had said that there had been a bid put in for Harry Bunn and it was imminent.
It doesn't seem that way, does it? Whether there was a bid in and rejected, but it's not Harry Bunn. Mick said it's not Harry Bunn, so let's see who it is. I think even if someone comes in at this stage, would they go straight into the starting lineup, only arriving today or tomorrow? I would think that's unlikely, but let's see who it is first.
And just finally, Stu, obviously Birmingham here tomorrow, the real action starts at 3 o'clock, and Mick was quick to play down suggestions that they've had a difficult summer in terms of recruitment. Yes, they've only brought 3 players in, but they've brought David Stockdale in, they brought Mark Roberts in, and Mick was quick to point out that the squad that they've already got, and the 11 they'll probably put out tomorrow, is a solid championship squad.
Yeah, usual Mick, as you would expect, very respectful of the opposition. I know that's a criticism levelled at him quite a lot, that he goes too far in bigging up the opposition. He talks about a team that's bottom of the table as if they're Barcelona sometimes, the way he reels off the team. But from my point of view, I would like him to be less focused on the opposition and matching up the opposition formation, and certainly at this place at home in games that are perceived as winnable, just focus on what he wants his side to do, and have a bit of DNA and a bit of identity about the team again. Certainly a couple of years ago you knew what you were going to get from Ipswich. He talked about getting this place being a fortress again, as it was a couple of years ago, and finishing top 6. And he says, that he's going to have conviction in sticking with this new way of playing, a bit easier on the eye, playing out from the back. Let's hope that's the case. I hope that an odd bad result here and there, like Reading 5-1 away a couple of seasons ago, seemed to slam the brakes on a new way of playing. I hope he kind of sticks with that. He's saying all the right things. He's going to give the kids a chance. He's going to try and play a more entertaining brand of football. please, let's just hope they get off to a good start and all that ill feeling isn't whipped up again.
Fingers crossed. Well, that's all about it for now. Sorry, I'm getting my words tangled up here, but the action's set to start just over 24 hours away tomorrow. You can catch me online for the next couple of hours. I'm going to be continuing our Mick McCarthy press conference blog, and I'll be there to answer any questions that you've got. And then from tomorrow morning, from 9 o'clock, we'll be running a live match day blog that will run before, during and after the game against Birmingham. Regularly hourly content updates, obviously all the action from the game on Twitter and other sites, and then we'll be getting reaction afterwards that will be going on our timeline. So be sure to tune into that. It should be an exciting watch. Until next week on Facebook, thanks very much for watching.